Contemporary Practice, Exercise 4.5, Resourcing Materials, Preliminary Samples. Now, because I've accumulated some surfaces and textures with various tracing paper, surgical fabric, and bleaching a shirt and making textures, all of these pieces that have, to this point, have become fragments. And as the continuation of the experiments have moved forward, I started to piece together, and with these made layer on layer of the various mixing the materials. And then the next thing that I want to do is to take them one step further and just generate shapes that would give an idea of an artifact. I've kept the idea quite simple by just folding and pinning. There's various combinations, textures and so forth. They all may look, well, the same technique, but I think that the colour palette puts, variation onto these samples. So this is kind of an idea of how I wanted to present them. And I think it's starting to pull together a colour palette. Then I just wanted to play around with the idea of some display. Now, I did find these plaster of Paris pods that I'd used in mixed media. Now, they take a few minutes to set. Their bandages emulsioned in plaster of Paris, and you just dip them in water and then make them into a bowl type shape. So some of these have been reworked, and I painted the internal base of the bowls with various materials that I'd used, some of the poster paint, wood stain, etc. And again, wanted to engage that the colour palette was working together. And then I've done a video and a series of photographs by just placing these two objects together, just to give a suggestion of an artifact or something found in an archive, just to make the combinations of material resourcing that I've done and putting them together as a preliminary sample to possibly move forward onto some other ideas at a later date. One thing that I have learned with this assignment is that you can use materials that you've previously used before, your plaster of Paris, dyeing with tea and coffee, which I have to say I haven't really used that much in the past, but obviously ripping paper, dry brushing techniques and so forth. But I think what this is now teaching me is to start to reflect on other ideas from other assignments that I can bring in, can rework, and start to investigate deeper and actually recreate more ideas in a more sympathetic manner. And I think also as well what it does show, it shows that work can start to look more mature with the ideas. So I've been learning quite a lot with resource and materials and preliminary samples.